Hi guys, and welcome back to my corner of the internet and YouTubes. And today I got notes again about the books I want to read with doodles. I got notes about the books I want to read in the month of May, which is my birthday month. So hopefully I'll be able to grab a bunch of new books this month. Not necessarily new releases, but just new. I'm also not gonna fib to you guys. I did have a little too much tequila before filming this, and my phone is at 17%. So even though I already speak quickly, I'm going to try to get through this really fast so my phone doesn't die. But these are all of the books that I want to read in May 2024. And let's start off. I want to start off by reading, I think it's Sociopath. I'm going to put a picture of it here. I don't remember the name of the author right now. I have seen some of her videos on YouTube, and I am interested in reading this. There was a point in time where I thought I had psychopathy. It turns out I have a different diagnosis, but I am interested in reading this, and that is the nonfiction that I intend on reading on the month of May. Everything else we are going to look into is fantasy, romantasy, young adult, and the genre that I stick to. I don't have any, I have one sci-fi book that I want to read this month that I picked up last month, but I ran out of time, guys. So let's get through this. I have physical copies of a big chunk I want to read. There are some I definitely want to read, and I definitely know I want to get through, and there are some that I don't know if I'm going to get to, but I'm putting it on the maybes, tentative. I hope I get to it. We'll see how my mood goes, because I am a mood reader. But there are 4 books. This is my new rule. There are 4 books that I definitely want to read in the month of May. So let's get into that first, and then we will carry on, not counting Sociopath. So let's carry on. The first book is a reread. It is Brandy Sandy. It is Elantris. I got my copy last month. I replaced my copy last month, and since I got it, I just started picking it up, and I unintentionally started reading it. I am very excited to be back in this world. I forgot how much I loved Elantris. I read Elantris so long ago. Our main character here, I honestly prefer to Kaladin. I know he's everybody's favorite in Stormlight Archive because he's so flawed, but I love our main guy in this. If you don't know about Elantris, it is about a fallen city where essentially people became gods. They were immortal. The city has fallen. They're still immortal, but they are borderline zombies. They're borderline The Walking Dead, but they still have their personalities. Their wounds do not heal. They are going insane. We have our prince, our former crowned prince, and he has been subjected to live in the city after becoming an Elantrian, essentially. So he is cursed to live in Elantris. We have his wife, who he has never met. It was a political alliance, come into the city, along with essentially a priest. If you haven't read Elantris, I will be doing a quick synopsis of this at the end of the month once I refresh my memory. But Brandy Sandy will always have a special place in my heart. His adult fantasy anyway, and this is his first published book. I'm glad it is back on my shelf, and the reread is the first book I will be reading and finishing in May. And the second book I want to read, and I'm not wanting to read, I'm definitely going to be reading this, should be no surprise if you watched any of my last few videos or wrap-ups or reviews, and that is The Cuckoo by Leo Carew. This is the third, and I believe it's the final. I don't believe there's going to be any more books in this series. I think this was just a trilogy, but the third book in Under the Northern Sky. This is a series about 3 different species of human existing together if evolution had happened a different way and different species of humans had survived. It is essentially the Dark Ages in a alternate reality, and they are at war with one another. There is political manipulation. This is a military and political fantasy with Neanderthals, humans, and a different species of humans. There are hybrids, there's biological warfare, there's spy tactics. It is brilliant. I am in love with this book. I can't believe this is Leo Carew's first venture into writing, because this is amazing. I've only read 2 books. This is the third. I will be picking it up this month, but I am 99% sure this is a new favorite series. I have no doubt that this is going to be a new favorite. I'm really looking forward to reading this month. I'm going to pick it up probably today. We'll start this one. The next 2 books I definitely want to get to in the month of May are both new releases. I obviously don't have copies of them now. One of them, there won't be a physical copy of them. It's just going to be an e-read. But I want to read for sure 5 Broken Blades by Mike Horland. This is about 5 different points of view. We have an assassin, a spy, I think an ostracized royal, and 2 others, and they are trying to manipulate their way into society to overthrow the government. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is an adult fantasy. It looks like it's going to be grim dark, and that is what I have been leaning more towards lately. I do love me an assassin, so that is one I'm definitely looking forward to. I did a really quick synopsis in one of my last few videos if you want to look that up. And the other new release comes out on May 28th. This is going to be on Kindle Unlimited. I don't think there's going to be a physical copy of this book, but it is Soul Cage by L.R. Schultz. Essentially, if you want to get magic, you have to murder for it. We have one of our main characters, and he has basically become a hermit after killing one of society's most magical people, and he did it by accident. He really didn't want to do it. And we have another character who is basically cursed, and she wants to, actually I'm not really sure what Helena's going to do, but she's basically cursed, and she is lying to her community about her powers. So we're going to see how that goes. I really am interested in seeing how people gain their magical abilities by killing other people. So if you want power, you murder for it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. It looks really interesting to me. I'm pretty sure this is independently published, so this is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Those are the 4 that I'm definitely 100% picking up in the month of May. As far as books that I might or might not get into when it comes to new releases, Spark of the Everflame comes out on the 7th, I believe. This is going to be a young adult. Editing Megan here, I meant Spin of Fate, not Spark of the Everflame. Spin of Fate is what I meant to say. Don't drink and film. Don't do that. Bad idea. Spin of Fate is coming out on May 7th. Fantasy, it is for fans of Avatar, The Last Airbender. We're gonna see how I'm feeling. I haven't really been driving with new adult and young adult lately, but I have seen really positive reviews for this. A bunch of people got arcs of this book, and we're gonna see how it goes for me. I'm really hesitant to buy it. I'm not going to summarize it. If you're on BookTube at all, you've seen synopses of this book. We also have the other that I might not pick up is a romantasy. It is The Deer and the Dragon. It looks like we have a lot of different types of characters from different sort of mythos thrown into the same world. Angels, fairies, griffins, demons. I said angels and demons already. But we have a lot of different mythos, a lot of different types of characters, fae, Nordic fae, thrown into the same realm in a battle, in a pantheon. We're going to see how this goes. I don't know how I feel about it. It is romantasy. It is going to be a competition, and I'm not really a fan of magical competitions, but we're going to see how that one goes. I may or may not pick that up, and those are the two new releases that I may or may not pick up in the month of May. Now this is going to be an either or situation because they're both series. One is very long and very daunting. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up. I want to pick it up, but we will see. The other one is more likely because it's less intense and less intimidating for me. I'm either going to probably and hopefully either pick up the first book of Malazan by Steven Erikson, Gardens of the Moon, or I will pick up by Richard Swan, The Justice of Kings. We have judge, jury, and executioner lying in one person in this book, and I honestly do not know a lot about Malazan. It is grimdark fantasy. It is a very long series with a huge fan base. I know I will need help from every online community available to read Malazan. I don't know if this is the month to start it. We will see. We will see how my other reading plans go, but The Justice of Kings is probably more likely. And our main character has a great fantasy name, Conrad von Vault, and he is a justice, and it shows how much too much power in one person can negatively impact society and the effects of that. So that is probably the most likely to come. I believe that's a completed series already, but that one is more likely to start picking up than Malazan. If I do pick up Malazan, then pray for me. Whatever you believe in, pray for me, because that is a long and I am intimidated. That's tough. Okay, aside from one book that I have on Kindle, which is Spark of the Everflame, I wanted to maybe start that one last one that was a tentative one. That is a romantasy, but romantasy has been really disappointing for me lately, so I don't know if I'll pick it up, but that one is a maybe on my TBR. We're going to see how the other romantasy I have, The Deer and the Dragon, we're going to see how that goes. before I try picking up another romantasy. But aside from that, the other 4 potentials, because I did get 5 book of the month books, 4 of which I haven't read so far. Well, 3 now, because I read Dragon Seed. So 3 of them I haven't read. I do want to knock those out, because I do not want to be one of those people. Nothing wrong with you. If you have money for that, do it. But I don't want to be one of those people that has a bunch of books on my shelf that I haven't read, because your girl doesn't make money like that. But I have 3 books that I haven't read from book of the month, and I do want to start knocking those out. So Wayward will probably be the next I pick up out of the remainder I bought. I did have 5 credits and I used them all at one time. So Wayward, this has a lot to do with domestic violence, and it comes from a family of witches, and she escapes a scenario that is rather unpleasant with her husband, and she goes back to her traditional family home, and we're going to see how this goes. I know this book is very popular online. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I can handle triggers really well. I don't need to avoid books reading them, but I do like to be aware when they're there. So there is a domestic violence aspect to that book. So we'll see how that goes for me. And then I do, hopefully, this is so small. This is so teeny. And I have no reason to not read it, but Daniel Green is putting out a bind-up of his first 2 novellas. So I do want to read Breach of Peace. Someone stole my last copy from me, because people are lovely. So I did reorder this copy. I don't think there are any left on Amazon anymore, because there were 3 left on Amazon when I ordered this one, I guess because the bind-up is coming out. But I do kind of want to get to this. This will probably be something I read on the bus. I do take the bus home sometimes just so I can read, which some people think is really weird, but no one is bothering me when I'm on the bus. So this might be a bus read for a day or 2. Daniel Green, I've said it before, he's one of my favorite booktubers. And this is under 150 pages. So I have no reason to not have read this. I owe it to Daniel Green because he has entertained me for so many years. So even though he will never know that I read this book, it is one that I want to knock out next month. Hopefully I get to it. And then the last 2 are Daughter of Red Winter. This has been on my shelf for years now. 4 years. The second book is already out. If I don't read this by the end of this year, I'm going to unhaul it. Because like I said, I don't need a bunch of books on my shelf that I haven't read. So I hope that I feel the urge to get to it this month. I'll read the synopsis again. I've read it before. Rain can see and speak to the dead. It's a gift that comes with a death sentence. All her life she has hidden, lied, and run to save her skin, and she's made some spectacularly bad choices along the way. But it is a rare act of kindness, rescuing an injured woman in the snow, that becomes the most dangerous decision Rain has ever made. Because the woman is fleeing from Red Winter, the fortress monastery of the Jehoan warriors magicians who answer to no king and will stop at nothing to reclaim what she's stolen. A battle, a betrayal, and a horrific revelation force Rain to enter the citadel and live among the Drowned. She soon finds that her secret ability could be the key to saving an entire nation, though she might have to die to make it happen. So we have a woman that can speak to the dead, and it could kill her or it could save her life. She is thrust into a military compound where she probably shouldn't be. So again, no romance. I'm forcing no romance in this book, which for me, I have enough romantic drama in my life. I don't need any more in literacy. I got enough. So, and then the last is Calypso. This is about, what is our main character name? Rochelle. She is in cryostasis on a spaceship that is meant to, it's a colony arc. So she is in cryostasis. She's going to another planet with a bunch of other people. But she wakes from cryostasis, and human evolution has carried on the ship. They've built a whole society. This is generations past the people she boarded with. They have spread into 2 different sects. One wants to be all naturalistic. The other wants to be more tech. She is thrust into the middle, and they basically see her as not a god, but they basically see her as a higher up because she is from the time before. And just, this is, I picked up another book thinking it was this book, and I was wrong, but I opened this, and this is kind of giving me trauma from another book that I've read before. If you know, you know. Give me 1 second. So this, I kind of get PTSD from looking at the pages. So if you've been here, then you know why I'm just a little hesitant to go into that. So if you've been here, you know why I'm a little hesitant to go here. So This looks really interesting. I opened it up and I thought it was written in prose, so that does make me a little nervous because I'm not a poetry girl. I'm very picky with poetry, but this looks super interesting. It sounds super interesting. It's another fast read. I do want to pick it up. I do think it's going to be heavy. This is a sort of sci-fi that interests me, and we'll see how this goes. But that is everything. I am at 4% better now. That is everything that I hope to pick up in the month of May. I'm sure I'm going to pick up some other books. I am a mood reader. I might pick up Warbreaker after Elantris because that's how my brain works, but we'll see how it goes. If there's anything that you recommend I jump into, or if you can motivate me to read Malazan without being terrified to get into Malazan, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. If you could drop a like and subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. I did order a microphone, a good one, not the garbage $15 one on Amazon, a good one. So that'll hopefully be better the next time I upload a video. But thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time. I have to go to work in about 2 hours, so we'll see how I'm gonna eat some pancakes. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.